in Edmonton, we have a really great infrastructure, a social infrastructure of neighborhood-based organizations, nonprofit organizations. In Edmonton, they're called community leagues. So we have approximately 200 neighborhoods or so, and about just over 150 community leagues that are place-based. And I kind of mentioned them a little bit earlier on. They are in charge of delivering programs and services at the neighborhood level, and they'll be the ones that take care of community league buildings, halls, rinks, hockey rinks in the neighborhood, and some of the green space there. They often are very involved in the projects where we're building new playgrounds and wading pools and this kind of thing. And so this kind of social infrastructure of community leagues in Edmonton has been part of the reason why this momentum has really picked up here. And that is because these neighborhood organizations have been the leadership that have been able to endorse and support this. They've been the ones to find that neighborhood connector to be the leader who is mentoring their block connectors. And financially, they've been the ones to apply on grants to fund that one-year startup of the Momentum position. We've been lucky in Alberta, actually, with the Community Initiatives Program project-based grant through Alberta Tourism and Culture. Over 10 neighborhoods now have been successful on their applications with that. And it's a matching grant with volunteer hours of the block connectors is what we've been using. And so that has actually been a real gift, funding those neighborhood connectors. And in Edmonton, we're really seeing that this is growing. People are interested in this. People want to engage with their neighbors, and many people are doing so already, of course, and kind of remembering maybe how things were when we were a bit younger, or if we're from a smaller town, smaller community, that kind of feeling where you feel comfortable going and asking your neighbor for a cup of sugar or a little bit of milk to finish off your baking, rather than getting into your car, going all the way to the store and getting these things when you just need just a couple of more things. I remember when I was young, we would jump across the fences and play tag and flags across 5 or 6 yards. It was like they were all part of our own backyard, and we were told by our parents, you can stay out and play until the streetlights come on. And we felt safe, and we felt like we knew who was around us. Our neighborhood was like a village, and I think that's really what this is about, is making our local areas, our neighborhoods, into villages where we take care of each other, and where maybe we're not all best friends, and of course that's not always going to happen. Friendship might be a side bonus. It's really about remembering how to be good neighbors, neighborliness, relationship building with the people who live around us. And so in Edmonton, we have 15 active, we're calling them neighborhoods, and we're defining this as they have that neighborhood connector, that leadership role in place. And 7 startup neighborhoods, we're defining that as neighborhoods that have indicated that they want to do this. They have an executive, a board as part of their community league, and they've voted and decided this is something we want to do. We are actively searching for a neighborhood connector, and they've become kind of part of this growing network of connectors citywide. And 35 plus now inquiring neighborhoods. So we've got 200 or so neighborhoods in Edmonton, and we see this number of interested neighborhoods continuing to grow. And so that tells us that we need to build our supports as a city. So we see this as a very grassroots initiative. It's the beginnings, it grows slowly. So someone might say, oh, is this in my neighborhood? And the answer might be yes, but they may not have yet experienced it, because it takes time to go out and have these conversations. In order for it to be authentic and not contrived, it needs to feel natural. It's funny that we even need something like this, or even, Howard and I, to be in these positions, that this is our job to encourage neighborliness, but the reality is that it's almost like it's become a lost art as to how to neighbor. And we see people's faces light up because they say, yeah, that's what I want to do, or that's what I'm already doing. I've tried something like this, or I want to try something like this. Most people are on the same page. This is really part of a bigger movement towards being more connected again and less individual. So as we see this growth in interest, and it's been a steady growth, we see from the City of Edmonton's perspective as a municipality the need to increase our supports and resources to meet that growing interest. So some of the things that we are doing this year, actually for those of you who have slides, this slide that's up right now shows, if you're interested in organizationally where we sit, we are in a department called the Citizen Services Department. It's one of 6 departments in the City of Edmonton, and within that we have a section called Neighborhoods, and this portfolio really works with people on the ground. It's all about community building. So that's where Abundant Community Edmonton has grown from the municipality's perspective, and that's where the supports are coming from.